Benches set for debut on that Darlington substitutes lineup. The striker Matt Green signed yesterday from Cardiff City on loan, and the Portuguese midfielder Felipe da Costa. Leeds United supporters may get a first look at him after his move from Greek football and Ionikos. Darlington come into this one on a high after an excellent win, matching their best of the season down in East London against Dagenham on Saturday. And Steve Foster, as much on a high as anyone, scored his first goal in that win for 2.5 years, and he is still talking about it 3 days on. Sure, he'll be talking about it for a while as well. If he is important to the way that Darlington are doing things this season, Alan Thompson, a welcome return. He's had his injury problems. The 33-year-old tasted plenty in his career, particularly during his lengthy spell with Celtic, UEFA Cup final, Champions League and all that. Now he needs to get used to the cut and thrust of the Football League trophy. Leeds, of course, come into this one as the form side, but then again, they go everywhere as the form side at the moment. 9 wins in their 10 league outings so far, but don't forget, 9 changes to the side here.
Well, even though they've got 9 changes to that strong team that they've been fielding for the recent weeks and recent games, they're still going to be a formidable force this evening. Lots of experience, mixed very, very nicely with a sprinkling of youth.
Pretty much a full-strength side out there for Darlington as well. That's those couple of changes from the one at the weekend. Momentum all important. Both clubs and both managers, Dave Penny and Dennis Wisewood, happily admit that promotion from their respective divisions, forget this is a League One against League Two encounter, is the priority. But also don't forget they're just 4 wins away from a fantastic day out at Wembley Stadium.
That's absolutely true. You just ask any of the recent winners, Doncaster last season, what an amazing day out it actually is, and to have the opportunity to go to the new Wembley, I'm sure it's not something Dennis Wise will turn his nose up at.
Lifted the FA Cup on a couple of occasions at the old one, of course, as a player with Chelsea. Managed Millwall at the FA Cup final in Cardiff during that defeat to Manchester United. He's seen it all and done it, and he's got this wonderful spirit going at Leeds United this season. The response to that 15-point deduction at the start has been exceptional. This is Clark Kelty in the engine room for Darlington. Foster now. Kelty. Front two looking to combine there for the home side. On a fairly dank and drizzly evening, it has to be said, but good conditions for football. Nice slick playing surface. Mistakes might be made. Andy Oakes there in the goal for the home side.
Wasn't the easy first kick that he would have wanted this evening. Nevertheless, the ball away from danger.
This is Ben Parker, one of the teenagers on show here for Leeds United, won by Fraser Richardson.
It's going to be an intriguing evening, isn't it? Both teams, whilst lots of strikers are getting the accolades in both sides, but conceding goals is something that neither team are doing very freely. Very, very well organised, very tight at the back.
Richardson with a long throw looking for De Vries and Andrews, both big target men. That free kick will go the way of the home side. It's Ian Westlake who is penalised, the former Ipswich Town man.
You can see this may be a feature, a long throw into the box, and yes, Westlake just a little shove in the back there.
He's played his part in this extraordinary run for Leeds United. A little bit of a super sub role, scored in the Carling Cup, but in the 95th minute, just after coming off the bench against Oldham, came on to strike the late goal. That is the Leeds United speciality. Even when they don't outplay the opposition, they tend to outlast them. Something Darlington will be only too wary about. They are taking on the late goal specialist here, and they have a horrible habit in recent weeks of conceding late goals.
That is a horrible habit as well. When you top all those lost points up at the end of the season, it could be crucial.
You just sense from the early exchanges, don't you, that those front pairing are going to give the Darlington defence plenty to think about, Andrews and De Vries. Here's Julian Joachim, employed in that new wide right-hand side role at the moment this season by Dave Penny. Out of the cut and thrust of that battle between centre forward and centre half, which is particularly robust in the lower leagues of football. Kelty got a toe in. This is Alan White, the hometown boy. On to Rob Purdy. Tommy Wright contested, but Matt Heath has the height advantage.
Still waiting for the game to settle down a little bit. Neither team able to just get the ball down on the floor and make the passes that they're after.
Leeds in strongly, hunting around. Barrow, the Frenchman, forward to Tommy Wright. Give him a chance and he'll take it at the moment. Scored in his last 2 home games here. 2 leads given against Peterborough and Rochdale as well. But those are the 2 games where they conceded late goals. Also in the last couple of minutes at the MK Dons Stadium. Free kick here to Leeds United. The captain Thompson will take it. And no one will need telling about how lethal he can be with that left foot. Goes for a measured approach here in towards Ben Parker. Offside flag up. Heath had come forward from the back. I think the former Leicester man was the offender there.
Once again, Darlington showing how well organised they are. Just holding, look at that line. Perfect straight line. Just about get the edge and catch Leeds United offside.
Well, some players like a break, and plenty of Leeds United players are getting one, but Matt Heath played every single minute of the season so far at the back for Leeds, just keeping things ticking over, and my, have they been ticking over well.
As I said, I mean, conceding 4 league goals in 10 games, I mean, that really is as good as it gets, and he's been instrumental in that, Matt Heath.
His usual sparring partner at the back, his partner in crime, Rui Marquez, the Angolan, given a rest tonight. And that's a welcome chance for Paul Huntington at the back, who's had to look on as there's been faultless performances from the Leeds defence week in and week out since Huntington joined the club. Only conceded 1 goal in the 7 games. No wonder he can't get a look in.
It's difficult for the young man, very highly rated at Newcastle. Slightly surprised Newcastle were willing to let him go, but he was obviously chasing first-team football, and he's come into a Leeds United squad that have started so well that he's only getting rare opportunities at the moment. But he's got his opportunity tonight, and he'll be looking to take full advantage of that.
Thompson's across there to try and use his experience to tidy things up. Parker closed out. Hunting in packs here, the Darlington forwards, and that's an awkward one for David Lucas to come out and get on his debut. Made it his own though.
Well, Barrow did well. He sprinted in to close the goalkeeper down, put him under pressure, got his team a throw.
Starting to thread things together here, Darlington. Just a little bit too much on that from Julian Joachim.
Interesting, Julian Joachim coming in from his wing. This is the back pass. Watch the way Darlington close this ball down. Barrow comes in off his left wing. Puts David Lucas under a lot of pressure. I think that's probably a sign of things to come.
Xavier Barrow, as much as anyone might have a point to prove, made his debut here a couple of weeks ago against Peterborough. Came on as a substitute. 22 minutes later, he was sent off. He has a little bit of making up to do to the club. Nelson, the midfielder for Leeds. Thompson alongside him, but he's trying to thread it through there to Mark de Vries. Score of the winner off the bench at the weekend against Yeovil. Parker. Man down for Leeds United. They're playing on here. De Vries is not looking too comfortable. Still down on the deck, but still Leeds play on. Joachim back doing some defending, and he's going to need to. This is good forward play from the full-back Parker. Westlake now, and he is caught late. No doubt about that. Blundell with a striker's challenge and a yellow card as well.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Typical striker's challenge. No malice, I'm sure, intended, but Greg Blundell is just a fraction late there on Ian Westlake. Referee Michael Jones has put a marker down now on what's going to constitute a yellow card in the rest of this game.
First yellow card in the first 10 minutes of the match, and a first set piece for Darlington to defend. Whipped in low. Purdy, the fullback, got a touch. Tommy Wright now. He's a bit of close control, but he's got company from Fraser Richardson. Taken quickly by Kelty. Here comes Rob Purdy. That's excellent defending by Parker. One of the younger members of this Leeds side, but even in his opening exchanges, he's impressed with his confidence in defence and going forward.
Players of both teams at both ends already falling over on this greasy surface. It just makes you wonder, is one of them slips going to prove costly later on in this game?
Interesting schools of thought, aren't there, about keeping the momentum going. Leeds United, as we've mentioned already, on this wonderful run, but they've made all the changes to the side. If things do go against them here, is it going to disrupt the momentum?
Well, I don't think so personally. They've got this fantastic momentum going on. They have got this mentality. It's the world against Leeds United at the moment, and I think Dennis Wise has been fairly clever in using that to his advantage and riling his players, and he's had a fantastic response.
And he was looking for a reaction. He's certainly got one. They have had the one defeat this season. That did come in a cup competition against Portsmouth, where a few of the players on show tonight got a chance. Lost 3-0 at Fratton Park, went on and won their next 4 games. So maybe that provides the answer to the question of momentum. Wayne Andrews beaten to it. Of players in this Darlington side that you'll know from Doncaster days. Foster, who won that header, one of them, and Dave Penny's got a little bit of the gang back together that served him so well, getting out of the conference and then out of League Two a couple of seasons ago.
Well, he has. I think when you're a manager and you go to a new club, you often like to get players in that you know, that you trust, that you've worked with before, and all 4 of the ex-Doncaster players in this team tonight have actually managed to win the league that Darlington find themselves in, so perfect signings.
This is Ryan, he's one of them, the left back, Kelty. Finally getting his chance. He's keeping Michael Cummins out of the side in the last couple of weeks. Ricky Ravenhill comes in, and his partner in midfield, Cummins, on the bench, getting a little bit of a rest. This is Wayne Andrews. Waiting for his partner to get into position. Foster, an important touch, still needs some clearing. Ryan trying to provide it, getting in a little bit of a muddle as well.
He did well in the end there, Tim Ryan. You could see from that one instance just how left-footed he really is, Tim Ryan. Had an opportunity to clear it with his right, but dillied and dallied a little bit, but got away with it.
Not often over the footballing years that these two clubs are thrown together in any competition. They've only played that twice before, and that was 10 years ago in the League Cup. Leeds coming out comfortably on top. But then again, they've had very different recent histories, haven't they? Plenty of points that you can look back and see how far Leeds have come in the wrong direction over the last few seasons. This another one, 7 years ago this week, they were taking on Barcelona at Elland Road in the Champions League. A late goal from Rivaldo, denying them a win against the great Spanish side.
An awful lot of people keen to remind them of that as well, aren't they?
De Vries, looks like he isn't feeling the effects of that injury he picked up a couple of moments ago. Away by Foster. Ravenhill. Another one of that Doncaster connection. An offside flag.
It's all very tight over there on that right-hand side. I'm sure that Darlington are going to look to try and get Julian Joachim on the ball. Haven't been able to do that in the early stage of this game, and Dave Penny is going to want them to give him a bit of time on the ball so he can get at Leeds United's back four.
Westlake Now Joachim trying to pick that pass through to right, but there are plenty of yellow shirts back there. Might expect a tight encounter here, the most potent attack in League One in Leeds United, but they've also got the best defence. Darlington, the best defence in League Two. I wonder there haven't been too many chances in the first quarter of an hour.
I was going to say, I think both these teams so well organised, well drilled, very disciplined defensively. They really don't concede many goals, and you can see why in the opening 15 minutes here.
Curtis Weston. This is a pacey run from the youngster. Excellent opportunity here for Andrews, but he slipped at the crucial moment. Still got his shot away, but the chance went with the slip.
We spoke about it, didn't we, just a few minutes ago. Players slipping on this greasy surface, but Weston does ever so well here. Drives straight through the middle with pace. I think it's De Vries's run that brings the Darlington defence in, but Andrews just couldn't get that first touch right. Gets a shot, but he's lost his opportunity.
So many of the Leeds goals this season have come from their first choice strike pairing. Jermaine Beckford and Trezor Kandol, both given a rest tonight, and these pair brought in when they both got sent off at Gillingham and faced suspension. Here's Curtis Weston. He started to come into the game, hasn't he? De Vries, Andrews. Control deserted him again at the crucial moment.
Just turning up the heat just a fraction, aren't they, Leeds United? Weston getting on the ball, driving at the Darlington defence with a lot of pace. Darlington already going to be aware of the threat that a young man's going to pose.
Well, they're looking to protect an unbeaten home record. Darlington not lost here since their final day of last season when they were roundly beaten by Stockport. Ryan first on the scene. Lucas is going to have to come out, and he duly does that on his debut. Former Preston man, and spent at Barnsley last season. He's here on short-term loan at Leeds United. Kasper Ankergren, who's played more than his fair share in Leeds' success so far this season, given a well-earned rest. The League One Player of the Month, by the by. Weston again making his presence felt. Andrews will leave it to De Vries. Kelty comes back in, just in the nick of time as well.
Once again, it's down this right-hand side. Curtis Weston causing Tim Ryan a few problems and getting a cross in. It's almost like they got in each other's way, wasn't it, Wayne Andrews and Mark De Vries? Not quite on the same wavelength there, but as I said, Leeds are growing into this game.
Have a little touch on from Kelty. Now this is where Joachim likes it. Good combination with Blundell. Here he goes, Julian Joachim. Just over-touched it, and Huntington did really well.
That's excellent defending by Huntington. That's what we were talking about. Darlington getting Joachim on the ball, driving through the middle.
Well, that'll give Darlington a lift. Joachim, the heartbeat of their recent attacking zest. Here's Foster. Scunthorpe, of course, last season, but despite being their player of the year, ended up moving slightly north here to the Darlington Arena. Joachim, Kelty, Purdy. Maybe Leeds, good little spell, has just awoken the home side a little bit. Stooping to head is Heath. Ryan. Quite happy to give a free kick away there, Huntington, you suspect?
Yeah, it's a good ball in. Tommy Wright takes the ball. Huntington right through him, and again, it's by the letter of the law. You don't want to see yellow cards brandished too frequently, but he's come through the back of him there.
Kelty to deliver. White has got forward. White did the touch, and it took a save from Lucas.
Oh, that's an opportunity. First opportunity, really, of the game. It's just a long, hopeful free kick, and White round the back, loses his marker. Really doesn't quite get the connection that he's after.
Alan White looking for his first goal for his hometown club, and not too far away. What he has done has earned Darlington their first corner of the evening. Little glance just took it away from trouble. De Vries back there doing some defending. Foster trying to pass it onto the head of a teammate. Kelty hit and hope in towards Joachim. Just one touch away from making his way through, but used his hand as well.
Well, that'll be encouraging for Darlington. Just had their goal-scoring opportunity and then followed by a decent corner. Just want to give the crowd something to get their teeth into.
Good crowd as well, in no small part the numbers that have come up the A1 from Leeds. Average here around 3,000, plenty more than that here you'd suspect.
It's such a shame, isn't it? Such a small average crowd, such a wonderful, wonderful stadium. Deserves a little more.
The long-term plan is still to bring a little more here, and who knows over the years. Well, that's not going to cause too many problems from Greg Blundell.
Slightly optimistic.
Well, there they are, the Leeds fans. Quite astonishing the way that they have backed the club. The weekend they played in front of nearly 28,000. Higher, by the way, than every championship game played last weekend, and higher than half the Premier League games played on Sunday.
Truly are fantastic supporters. Always have been, you suspect always will be. They've had so many ups and downs, and yet they keep coming back for more, and that's very commendable.
The Dunkirk spirit has managed to spread itself from the dressing room to the club as well, but during the heyday it was always us against them with Leeds, wasn't it, under Don Revie? Blundell. In by Barrow, but too close to Lucas.
Well, it was very close to Lucas, but I'll tell you what, it didn't half move in the air, that cross. He had to watch it all the way. It's one of those easy ones for a goalkeeper to spill.
By the way, the scorelines are level here after 90 minutes. It's decided on the night, no extra time. We go straight to penalty kicks, one way or another. Someone will be advancing through to the Northern Section quarter-finals.
I'm sure both managers will be happy that there isn't half an hour of extra time, should it come to that as well. Often that's the time and period that saps players, and as we said, priority for both these teams is to get that up the top of their leagues.
No space in the heart of that midfield, and it's the home side who come away with it. They find their danger man, Julian Joachim, plenty of movement up front. Blundell just too high for him. He's right giving chase.
Did well. It's Fraser Richardson claiming he was pushed, but Tommy Wright doing the ugly side of the game and closing down the defenders. Bought his team a throw-in.
Not too many links with the Premiership years now, but Fraser Richardson, one of those, had a handful of appearances as a youngster during Leeds relegation season.
When these young players break into the first team early, they don't half rattle up those appearances. Still fairly young, but be classed as an experienced player already.
Well, this is a bloke fielding a strong side today, mostly because he had to in terms of all the injuries they've got. And Tommy Wright, who's been so important to what Darlington have done in the last few games, as we mentioned already, a goal a game in his last 3 outings. Well, off he goes. Darlington fans will hope that that is just precautionary. As one door closes, so another opens. Matt Green, exciting young player on loan from Cardiff City, gets his first chance.
It's a shame for Tommy Wright, big TV audience watching him. Man in form, banging the goals in. As you say, let's hope that's not too serious. I'm sure you're going to see an ice pack put on some part of his anatomy soon.
Here's another one with a fleeting taste of the Premiership as a teenager at Leicester City. 23 now, Tommy Wright, so still plenty of football ahead of him, but not this evening. Darlington starting off the season pretty well, just 3 points off the League Two lead. The pace set by the MK Dons. Supremacy in terms of league position. Well, 16 places is the gap between these two sides, and it's the lower ranked one on the attack. Blundell, Ryan, Leeds plenty back behind the ball. Blundell, Kelty, offside flag goes up.
Well, there's another fine example of a well-marshalled Leeds defence. Just as this ball goes back, watch him stepping out, very tight, just drifted the wrong side.
New personnel in that same effectiveness from Leeds United. 10 wins they've got this season in all competition. Leeds, 7 of those have come when they have kept a clean sheet. Barrow. Chance for Green to stretch his legs. Now he's quick. Not quite quick enough to keep it in, though.
I have to say, the assistant referee, he's a long, long way away. Must have eagle eyes. He's going to tell us as Green chases that there. Doesn't quite control it properly, but for me, the whole of the ball has not crossed the line.
Denied by the eagle-eyed Jez Simpson on the far side, then Matt Green on his debut here for Darlington. It's away by White, who's had the best chance for the home side so far, no doubt about that. Here's Thompson. Don't want to be giving away free kicks too near their own penalty area, Darlington, with Thompson in the side, that's for sure. Georgie. Blundell. He's the player who's really profited from that injury to Pavel Abbott over recent weeks, Greg Blundell. Here's Barua up against Fraser Richardson. Ryan and Clark Kelty. Georgie. Andrews. He's giving it away, both sides guilty of that at the moment. Misplays passes. Purdy. Another one like the Doncaster crew who knows what it's like to come out of non-league football. Did it a couple of seasons ago with Hereford. Here he is again now, Purdy, trying to tee it up for Blundell.
That's catching practice really, isn't it, for David Lucas? High hanging cross, far too near the goalkeeper.
Georgie. Ravenhill finally shows, and after a long wait it all came to nothing for Darlington.
Well, every Darlington player there was so tightly marked. There's really nowhere to go, and it's credit to Leeds United, the way they're organised. They've managed to win the throw-in from a situation where they were against the throw-in. Both teams defending very well.
I don't think there's any doubt that we can say defences are on top here in this cup tie so far. White, Kelty. Purdy. Swarms of yellow shirts around the Darlington players whenever they get the ball. Kelty. They're suffocating the life out of Darlington's football at the moment, Leeds.
I think anybody who feels they've come into this game and they're not taking this competition seriously, I think in the first half an hour of this game, they've had their riposte, because they're closing down, they're working very hard. And this is really a game that Leeds do want to win.
Matt Green, little touch on Foster's forward there, looking to continue his goal-scoring run. White's header, now Kelty. The centre-halves have stayed forward here for Darlington. Can they find that spark to make the breakthrough? What a good tackle that was by the teenage Parker. Another slip by Wayne Andrews, who might just have a look at his studs at half-time. And a late, frustrated challenge by Andrews.
Well, hooks out. Yeah, and it's one of them where ball goes across, striker chases to close the full-back down. Does he leave anything in? Goes to block the ball. Well, I'm not sure how much contact was made there, I have to say. And he agrees.
Well, it's now even level in terms of the yellow cards. One apiece for a striker making a challenge. Ryan angles it forward. De Vries back there helping out his defence. How much help he proves to be remains to be seen. Chance to launch one in here. Purdy's come forward. Decides to go for the shorter throw. Kelty. So Leeds players snapping in. Churchin. Purdy. He's done well to find a way through to Green, who of course has company in the form of Parker. And it's away by Parker. Foster, Kelty. Might try their luck down this left-hand side now, Darlington, through Barrow. Ravenhill. Foster. Captain leading from the back. Running into traffic. No success down this side. Try the other one again. And the League Two side are to prevail here on home turf. They're going to have to do it the hard way. It's hard work. Curtis Weston. Couldn't pick his pass. It was Purdy. You know Dave Penny very well. He'll want his side to try and keep this up, keep passing to try and find an opening.
Yeah, they've been very, very patient there for a couple of minutes, but in the end they've had to resort to the long ball. It's all been so tight back there. Leeds United's defence, aided commendably by their midfielder, keeping a real tight rein on Darlington. They will want Darlington to pass the ball and try and open up the spaces. I think we've seen, particularly down that right-hand side, how tight this game has been at certain times.
Slip there from Ryan. Here's Barua. Well, no break to the league schedule for these lower league sides, but international football abounds this weekend. It kicks off on Sky Sports. England under-21 against Montenegro under-21. See it Friday 7:30. That's on Sky Sports 1 and HD1. And then on Saturday, vital game for Scotland at home against the Ukraine. We have that live for you, 2:30 Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Following that, the Republic of Ireland take on Germany, 7:30. You can see that on Sky Sports 2. Here's Thompson. Useful exercise for him. It's the hope for Dennis Wise, as really been able to play much first-team football in the last month. Alan Thompson, a niggly little groin injury that he hasn't been able to shake off.
Sure, Dennis Wise is very pleased to have his captain back out there on the pitch. Of course, they've done so well without him. Nevertheless, he does almost the marshal on the pitch for Dennis Wise, isn't he, Alan Thompson?
Quite a double act, aren't they, Gus Poyet and Dennis Wise? Leeds supporters slowly starting to come round to their way of thinking, despite the Chelsea connections and all that. Here's Barua. Excellent defending by Richardson, who's furious with himself that he gave away the corner.
Yeah, he did. He got himself in a good position to tidy that up and clear away the danger. Just overran it on his first touch. His team to defend this corner very well.
They've defended pretty much everything else very well so far, Leeds United. Kelty's delivery. It's a Leeds head that got that. The chance from a corner then for Darlington. Looks like they might try a similar routine. Kelty again. Big Mark de Vries doing his defensive shift. Barua, Kelty. Oh, he thought he kept it in, but Barua's pass didn't help him. Throw's gone Darlington's way, must have taken a touch off the Leeds boot. Barua. Well, he's earned the corner cleverly there, the Frenchman. A little bit of trickery.
Well, haven't quite managed to miss big Mark de Vries at the front post on the last two attempts at the corner. They've got a third opportunity. Just a slightly better ball, might do the trick.
Foster arriving late at the near post. They've gone towards the far. Green couldn't do anything with it.
That's a poor delivery in the end. Again, that's three opportunities. Clark Kelty this time goes a little bit deeper, misses everybody out, but there's nobody coming round the back, and it's a wasted opportunity.
Foster. Howson.
There's a lot of little silly little free kicks being given away in this game, but so far neither team been able to capitalise.
Thompson looking for de Vries, trying to spin away from White and nearly doing that. Here comes Westlake, and White just wants to get it out of there, which is just what he does do.
It's good no-nonsense defending, isn't it? Take no chances, clear the ball away from danger.
Richardson. And Lucas. Not too much for either goalkeeper to do, but Lucas called into action once from that close-range effort from White. Blundell. It's almost a sense about this Leeds United side, albeit, as we've said already, very much changed from their usual league side. But seem to have a confidence that if they keep the opposition out, they'll get their chance, and the late goals will come. Have done recently against Oldham in the 95th minute, against Yeovil in the last couple of minutes of the weekend. The man who headed on there got it. De Vries. Here's Howson, now Thompson. Ambrose. Able to whip that one in, not a bad ball at all. Ryan clears, here's Green, Kelty. Blundell is up on his own at the moment. Green busting a gut to try and join him. Just hung on to it a little bit too long and is crowded out. by the fullback Parker.
Again, nowhere to go really for Greg Blundell. Very difficult, surrounded by 2 or 3 Leeds defenders.
Mentioned already how, because of the injuries they've got here, likes of Neil Austin, Pavel Abbott, among others. And you can add Tommy Wright to that. Not too many bodies around to make up the numbers and give too many players a rest. But also, don't forget, Leeds United, although they're down in the bottom 2 divisions, tasting the Football League trophy, the Johnstone's Paint trophy for the first time, they are a big scalp to a club like Darlington. They'll be desperate to try and get one over here.
It goes without saying, every club at this level, League One, League Two here, if you're classing it as a Johnstone's Paint trophy game, when Leeds come to town, it's a huge game. Not that far away from each other, are they either? About 45 minutes down the road. Almost as close as Darlington get to a derby game.
To travel a little further at the weekend, of course, that trip to Dagenham, they put to bed a little bit of a hoodoo in London. Hadn't won there for 12 years or so. And perhaps, arguably, their best performance of the season, certainly matching their best result, which also came away at Accrington Stanley. There's the only 2 occasions that they have scored 3 goals, both 3-0 wins.
3 very good goals as well, weren't they? A couple of them very good team goals, lots of passing, movement, pace. Haven't been given the opportunity to really display that too much this evening.
That's helped on its way by Thompson. Ryan. Weston gets the decision against him there for arriving a little bit late.
I know Tim Ryan very well, and he's arrived a little bit late on a few people of his own, I have to tell you, but big strong lad, he'll get on with it.
Taken their eye off the ball here a little bit, and a chance for Wayne Andrews to come forward. Westlake's cross, and he got there, Andrews, but put it behind.
Well, I'm so surprised at him, because he had Tim Ryan one-on-one for a long period of time, and he turned the opportunity down, got in the box, but that's a poor effort, and I think it's a culmination of everything that all the wrong decisions he made before there. Look, he's at the near post, just needs a little fine glance. That's way too much of it. And when you're a striker with pace like he's got, and you get a defender one-on-one and some grass behind you, I think there should only be one thing in his mind, and that's getting the ball in the grass and taking him on for pace. Turned the opportunity down there.
Georgie. No doubt that Thompson was late there. Well, he keeps up the consistency. One challenge, and you're in.
Yeah. It's caught a little bit short here, Alex. A big lunge, isn't it? Doesn't get anywhere near the ball. He's been there or thereabouts, the referee, with his bookings.
They sent the cavalry forward, White one of them. He got the touch. Oh, he's claiming it came off a Leeds player last. Not getting the benefit of the doubt that time, Alan White.
Well, it's not been fluent by his team, has it, by any stretch of the imagination? Let's not forget he was the mastermind when he was manager of Doncaster of the downfall of Aston Villa and Manchester City in the League Cup.
Very nearly Arsenal as well, wasn't
Very
it?
nearly Arsenal, so he's got pedigree to cause these kind of upsets, but his team haven't really found any fluency in the first half.
Blundell. Lucas with the save, no one following in, and it's turned away. Very nearly found a flash just when they needed it.
Well, he scored a good goal at the weekend, Greg Blundell, and this is a sign of his confidence as the ball breaks here. One thing in his mind, it's a good strike, it's a good save in the end.
time to score it would have been as well in the last couple of minutes of the first half, but they couldn't keep the momentum going. Free kick given away here. Kelty. Jurci. This is Parker. Good run this by Parker.
Well, that was brilliant play. Brilliant play by the young fullback. Drives at pace into the gap in between three Darlington defenders, gets to the byline. Just a fraction too much on that cross.
Had an impressive first half, hasn't he, Ben Parker?
He's looked a player, he has.
You can see that they think a lot of him, although he hasn't played a lot this season, and they wouldn't want to change the defence, which has played so well for them, Leeds United, and been so miserly, but he's been involved with the squads there and thereabouts, and he's played in these cup games, Carling Cup, and of course tonight in the Johnston's Paint Trophy. De Vries, well, White has a head start on him, so should be able to deal with this.
Once again, taking no chances, big Alan White at the back there.
Two sides who specialise in late drama one way or another. I suppose it's inevitable that the first half wasn't going to deliver a lot in terms of goals. So a stalemate at half-time at the Darlington Arena. Leeds being held by Darlington, but David Lucas, the busier goalkeeper, had a couple of saves, notably late on from Greg Blundell. But half-time scoreline here, Darlington 0, Leeds United 0.